For many, many years, I have considered myself to be a very strong woman, a very strong person. When it comes to being broken down by things happening around me, I think I'm one person who has really stood firm with my emotions, and I hardly get carried away. I think it comes from my lack of attachment. I hardly attach into things, and maybe that's something that will come up later with my story, things that I've discovered about my childhood. Not to blame anyone, but things that I came to realize have affected how I relate with things and with people. And I I started wondering, is it because am I just numb to things? Let me just call it that, numb. Or am I strong really? Or is it because I'm emotionally intelligent? Or am I just hiding things under the carpet? And I realized that there are so many things I've been hiding under the carpet, not hiding to bring them out in the open, but hiding them from myself, not to deal with them. And I've been triggered lately. I was triggered lately. I think in December, after I did my last show, my last training in December, some things triggered me, and I realized that I don't need to sit on it. I don't need to keep hiding these things under the carpet. I need to get right with my emotions and align them. And I feel like it's been a calling that I need to process that. I need to get to understand this emotional intelligence thing more deeply, and I've been working on that. And this has given birth to my desire to start a series for us to understand our emotions better and deeper. We can define emotional intelligence and understand it, but how do we align ourselves to that? Because I think that is where we fail. We don't align. Yes, we might understand what it is, we might try to practice it, but our behaviors, our moods, our choices, our values, our actions, do they align? Are we aligned to these things? So this has really pushed my soul, my mind, my being into incorporating this with my purpose, talking about it more deeper. And yeah, this is how an episode starts. A season, let me just say that, not just an episode, but a season starts of talking about emotional intelligence and alignment. How do we align? First of all, let's just define it for those who are not in sync with us. What is emotional intelligence? And this is your ability to understand, first of all, or no, to identify your emotions, understand them, and manage them, and use them effectively. And as well as even understanding the emotions of others and seeing how to manage them. So this is more about how we relate with others, how we relate with ourselves, how we make decisions, and how we handle pressure, how we handle things when we are under pressure. Lately, I know there's a lot of pressure for us, especially Kenyans, and I think not just Kenyans, but people worldwide. We are under pressure to overperform, to overdo things. But at the end of the day, we must ask ourselves, what legacy are we building? And what is legacy? What legacy is writing your name in people's hearts. So people will always remember how you made them feel, but they may not remember what you really said or what you did, but they will always remember what you made them feel. And this is something that we do without having to really think deep about it. We say things that affect other people, and we don't pay attention to how are people affected by my actions. How are people affected by things that I say? So we have to be in a position to speak about that, to process that, to bring that to our own attention. What do the things I say and the things I do affect other people? I'm not an angel. I know I've done things and said things online and offline that have affected people. And I'm not speaking from a point of an angel, even though my name is Angela, but I'm just speaking from a point of human, being human. We are all human. And once in a while, we may find ourselves um, doing things that will affect others, because we are not we are humans. We are human beings. We are not angels. So we will break people once in a while. So no one is immune to this. But then again, how do you bring yourself back into doing the right thing? And for you to master what emotional intelligence is, you must look at these core pillars, 5 core pillars that govern emotional intelligence, that surround emotional intelligence. And the first one is our own self regulation, our own self awareness. How aware are you about yourself? What is your DNA? How do you define yourself? So, not DNA, the scientific one, but what makes you who you are? What are the things that control your reactions or your actions or your responses into things that affect you? So pause a little bit and ask yourself, how do I respond to life? How do I respond to issues? How calm am I around pressure, under pressure? How do I process my thoughts? That's now being self-aware, knowing your emotions and why they happen, being able to recognize them, being able to name them one by one, and realize why you get triggered to these emotions, whether happy emotions or sad emotions. Our second pillar is our self-regulation. How do you respond to issues? How do you respond? Do you respond or do you react? So before responding, especially in a heated situation, how do you respond to this? Do you respond or do you react? Do you rush into giving an answer, or do you take time to respond? Yeah. So being able to control those reactions, self-regulation. The third pillar is motivation. What motivates you? How do you get motivated into doing the things that you do? Like I would ask myself, I was asking myself, why do I feel demotivated to doing what I love doing, which is helping other people to heal, transform, and achieve. And that's where my book came from. I've written a book called Heal, Transform, Achieve, because I came to realize that our wounds are doorways to light, the things that we've gone through, and it's based on my story. So I have written on what I went through, some things that I went through, not everything, of course, but some things that I went through, and how I managed, to process that. Sometimes some of the processing wasn't even structured, or I didn't even know what I was doing. But later on, looking back, I realized, oh, this really helped. This helped. This helped. And then I learned more about how to really do it properly so that you don't waste a lot of time in it, and you don't waste your resources, your energy, and you don't get lost in it. So, what motivates me into doing this now is my other experience of realizing that I have the knowledge of emotional intelligence, but I haven't been aligned lately until I had to work on it. So healing had to come on board. So looking at what my purpose is. For me, when you start living your purpose, when you're living your purpose, you're a motivated person. So it's not more about looking for the motivation, but it's about doing what motivates you. Hmm. Maybe it's one and the same thing, or it's the egg and the chicken. Which one comes first? The egg and the chicken, which one will come first? So for me, you do what motivates you, then you get motivated. You don't just, motivation doesn't just find you and carries you along. Okay, number 4 is empathy. Number 4, under a pillar under emotional intelligence. Why do we still have to, what is empathy when it comes to emotional intelligence? This is more about understanding other people, putting yourself in other people's shoes. Sometimes the shoes are tight, they don't fit. Sometimes they are torn. Sometimes the barefoot is the shoe. So so what do other people wear in terms of their shoes? What do they go through? How do they perceive things? So being able to understand things and life from their own point of view. And, this is something that is very useful, especially with marriages. And nowadays, marriage has become like flirting, like just, um, yeah, flirting. Let me just say that, because people get married today and tomorrow they are separated, or people get married and they are separated in the marriage. So everyone is competing with the other, everyone is doing what they want, everyone, there's no compromise anymore, there's no understanding each other anymore. It's my way or the highway, or it's my way or nothing kind of a marriage, and relationships at large. So, how do you empathize for you to understand the other person and look at life from the other person's point of view? And many times we get hurt by life because, and by things, by people, because we carry so much ego, because we don't want to look at the other person's point of view. We don't have the ability to see what has this person gone through for them to be able to do what they do, for them to become the demon that they have become in my life, a thorn in the flesh. People have had very many different experiences. If you listen to people's stories, read books about other people's stories, you will. Like today, I was reading a book. I just started reading, and I'm in a book club. We're reading a book by, what's her name? Um, why am I forgetting the author? But the book is stories of Nairobi women, confessions of the Nairobi woman, yeah, something like that. So I just the first chapter. The first chapter was, I almost cried. It's sad, the things that people go through, and they still see positivity in life. They still look at life in a positive way. So being able to understand, listen to other people's side, and understand where they come from. And even sometimes when we don't understand where they come from, we just need to know that they're also broken vessels. They are broken people. No one will just hurt you from nowhere. They've gone through something, and they are going through something, even when they don't know it. they are they will only pour out what is within them. So empathy will help you to forgive, to let go, to stop holding on to the pain. Yeah, it will really help you a lot. It helped me because I've gone through it all. Okay, not it all, but I've gone through my own share of hard times, things that I've been put through by people. But forgiveness has helped me. It's my stepping stone. Now, the third pillar is social skills. How well are you with people? How do you communicate with people? How do you manage relationships around you? And not just romantic relationships, but we talk about relationships at work, relationships with your young ones, relationships with your kids, your spouse, your friends. So all this kind of relationships, how do you manage them and how do you resolve conflicts? Because conflicts are part of life. They will always come up. We are always thinking different from other people. So when we think differently, how do we bring ourselves into unity again? So looking at that social pillar, how do you look at now being able to process emotions as a social being? Why is emotional intelligence so important for us to learn it and to master it and to run with it, to hold it so dear? First, it will help us with our leadership skills. You cannot lead yourself alone. Of course, everyone is a leader because you have that space of personal leadership, leading yourself. But everyone is a leader because you will always have people under you, people around you that you will have to direct here and there. So even if it's just, being a shopkeeper, you're a leader. You lead something. So everyone is a leader. And for us to be able to lead properly, we must look at how we connect with people. Emotional intelligence is also going to help you to build proper relationships, strong relationships with people because you're able to communicate. It's going to help you with your decision making because you become sure of what you're doing with yourself. You become your own personal critique and personal, um, cheerleader. You cheer yourself. You can be able to look at your own decisions and realize that I am capable of making these good decisions as well. It will also help you to manage your stress better. You manage your own stress, you manage your conflicts better, and it's also going to help you in building your own IQ. So being emotionally intelligent is a sign of a person with who is more intelligent, with a higher IQ. So with all these benefits and many more, why not pay attention to emotional intelligence? Why not pay attention? And it's something that is really needed lately when it comes to work. You go to an office, you're given an interview, and because of your IQ, you pass the interview. But because of your EQ, you lose a job. You're not able to keep the job or to work properly. So having emotional intelligence is going to help you in so many ways, and we have to learn some ways of improving them, some ways of improving this skill, this very important skill. It's, EQ, which is emotional intelligence, is one thing that will open doors for you even when you don't deserve them. It will make people look at you like you've got it, even when you know that you're dealing with a storm within. So why not just embrace that? So yeah, why not just embrace that? So how do we improve this emotional intelligence? In a nutshell, there are things that you can do. Just a quick one. Things like learning your own self-awareness, becoming more self-aware, sitting down with yourself and getting to understand, how do I process myself, my things, the things that, the thoughts, and you are your thoughts. So when I say, how do you process yourself, is how do you process your thoughts? This is a place where you sit with yourself and reflect on your actions, your values, the things you've been doing. What are you feeling, and why are you feeling what you're feeling? Sitting down with your own thoughts. I know this is not easy. Not everyone is comfortable sitting on their own with their thoughts. Not everyone. Actually, majority of people don't know that. Many people know how to sit with their phones, especially nowadays with their phones and scrolling. So you're getting thoughts and ideas from other people, but your own, to sit down with yourself and process your own thoughts. It's not easy. It's not rocket science. I always, when I'm coaching my students, I always insist on having a date with yourself. At the end of the month, when you get your salary, if you're a salaried person, or like me, who is a business person, when I make some money, what do I do first with it? Okay, with my own salary, because even when you're a business person, you have to pay yourself a salary. So the first thing for me, what I do for me, I must celebrate myself. I must go somewhere and just sit with myself, my thoughts, maybe a notebook, and have my reflection and sit there, just thoughts, thinking about where I am, thinking about what I did to achieve what I did and what I could have done to have done it better, what I can do next time, what are the things troubling me. Yeah, how can I overcome them? Yeah, such kind of things. Sitting down with yourself. Now we have also to learn to listen, active listening. This builds your social skill, your social pillar of emotional intelligence. Learn to listen. Listen, not social media, not a phone, but listen to a human being, physical human being, or even if it's not physical, let it be a virtual. You're connecting with somebody one on one. Be able to listen. In public speaking, we say that the best skill that you can have in public speaking is being able to listen. So, how do you listen when you're the one talking? How do you listen when you're the one giving a speech? You have to be able to listen to the mood of the crowd, to look at them and see, what are they communicating to you? What are they saying? Are they bored? Are they happy? Are they paying attention? Are they learning? Are they, you know, all that? The feedback, pick the feedback that is never spoken in public speaking. So this is a skill that we have to master, even when we are the ones speaking, even when we are the ones at the stage. You must be able to listen. Sometimes the listening may not have to be obvious, like somebody is speaking, but are you able to read the you know the climate of the room, the atmosphere? Are you able to listen to the mood of your audience? So active listening is awesome. It will help you get feedback. So feedback is another thing that we must pay attention to when we are trying to learn emotional intelligence. Ask for feedback physically. If you're speaking to someone, if you're sharing with someone, ask for that feedback. Yeah, being able to understand kabisa completely what did the other people feel when I spoke to them. Remember, people will remember how you made them feel, not what you said. Lastly, you must be able to manage your own emotions, to manage your own stress. Stress is constant, it's part of life. Stress, because we are stressed over paying bills, we are stressed over not having enough sleep, we are stressed over overeating, we are stressed over over exercise, we are stressed, everything, every day we go through stress. We are stressed over the traffic, we are stressed. Yeah. So we must be able to pause before we react. We must be able to manage our emotions, our what we feel, all this stress. And I, of late, I have now, when I was doing my processing of the things I've been through lately, I was one thing I kept on telling myself is pause and breathe. Pause and breathe. This is a very important skill in helping you to stay in the present, staying in the present, staying in the now, understanding that this is where I am, this is what I'm going through. So, without interruptions of anything else, being able to sit with your thoughts and just breathe without doing anything. This time, we are not even journaling, we're not even meditating, we are not even praying. You're just sitting down in your space and breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, count 1 to 4, hold, count 1 to 3, breathe out 1 to 6. So breathing out has to be deeper so that it goes all the way to your womb. If you're a woman, all the way to your womb, you breathe out all that energy that is carried within your internal organs, within your body, within every organ of yours has to feel that breath, especially the breathing out. So when I'm breathing like that, I lie down and I just focus on the breathing. The breathing out in, for me, because I'm a Christian, I say I'm breathing in the Holy Spirit and I'm breathing out the toxicity of life, the toxicity, that the things that I've been through, that anything that is disturbing me, I breathe it out. So the tension, I'm breathing it out. So anything that is holding me back, I breathe it out. Yeah. So simply, in a nutshell, that is what emotional intelligence is. So when you master your emotions, you don't just change your life, but you change how others will experience you. When you master your own emotions, you don't just change your emotions. You don't just master what just the emotions. You don't just. It's not just about you. It's also about others, how they experience you. Remember, we said that we are here to build a legacy, and that's what purpose is all about. So, how can you build a legacy when you're that person who reacts over every small thing, who reacts over every trigger? You must be able to sit with it a little bit. I'm not asking you for a whole day, just a few seconds, a few minutes, and then you can be able to respond. See you again in the next. Yeah, if you have any question, any what comment, please put it on the comment below. Comment and let's see what else is there. But we are going now to be talking about the alignment part. How do we align ourselves? Because you've seen people who have very serious positions, leaders, but they are not emotionally aligned. Their behaviors, they behave very differently. Yeah, shortcomings, so many shortcomings. But we're going to deal with that. We're going to dissect it and carry on. So this is your girl, Angela Nzilani. I am an author of Heal, Transform, Achieve, and I am a life coach. the leadership trainer. Hit me up for my services. Ciao.